Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I can see our speaker is here, but right before we dive into the amazing session in front of us, we're going to begin by some introduction. So, my name is Ivy. I cannot open my video because of my bandwidth, but that's okay. My name is Ivy, and I'm one of the three co-founders of Geek-ssters. Um, I am a software engineering student, and I'm so excited to be here. So I'll call on Jean and Monica to introduce themselves briefly before we begin.
Hi everyone. My name is Monica Wamuhu. I am also a co-founder of Geek-ssters. Glad to have you guys join us today, and I can't wait for the session ahead. Over to Jim.
Hi everyone, my name is Jean Kilimo. I am also a co-founder of Geek-ssters, and I'm so glad you guys were able to join us today. And I can't wait to see what Lorna has in store for us. I hope you enjoy.
Okay, thank you so much. Also, this event is brought to you by Geeksters and Be Audacious. Be Audacious is a tech community for beginners, and I know you were probably there yesterday and you're here today, and we're really grateful. So I'm going to introduce our speaker. She is Lorna Juma. She's the Oracle Program Manager, Oracle Academy Program Manager for Africa, and I'd like to invite her to take the stage from now. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Please confirm if you can hear me. If you can hear me, just let me see an emoji, a thumbs up or something. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Geeksters, Monica, and team for this invitation. I met Monica last year. I believe it's last year, Monica, when we visited your institution. And we had a cloud session and just interacting with you this year and learning about this organization that you have founded with you fellow female students. That is just really, really fantastic, and thumbs up to that. So as you had said, I am program manager, Oracle Academy. So I'm based here at the Oracle office in Kenya, but covering the Africa region along with some of my colleagues based in different hubs across Africa. I am also, aside from my professional work, I am also a wife and a mom to two lovely children, a 4-year-old girl and a 2-year-old boy. And what else can I cover? I went to Mount Kenya University. I did business information technology. And later I went to Texas Tech University, where I have certification in public management. And right now I am pursuing my master's in technology management. So I guess I just want to share a little bit about myself and what I have learned along the way, and hopefully it will inspire you all. You are all very lucky to be students or to be young in this age. There is so much available, so much information out there. And I'm sure all of you interacting with AI tools already. And the good thing about it is that, AI has been democratized, meaning that this technology is not just in the hands of a few big tech companies, but available to you all. So it is, up to you to learn how to use these tools to position yourself for the job market, really, or for those who are looking to, get into entrepreneurship. So as I said, I was at Mount Kenya University. Yeah. And I did business information technology, and this is a course that I undertook because I was running away from undertaking medicine. Honestly, my father really wanted me to do medicine, and I fear blood, you know. So I was looking for something that has some aspect of business and IT. And at that time, most universities were just introducing this business information technology. So I managed to convince my dad. I just looked for a university that was offering it, and I found MKU. I was just, the way you're looking for anything to just run away from something you're sure you don't want to do because you have a fear of something. I mean, you cannot be a doctor and not interact with blood, so yeah, I went and did that, and I graduated with first class honors. And after campus, and you're wondering, where do I go, what next, I started applying for internship, different organizations, and I got an internship with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Of course, I was expecting to go to the to go to the computer department, the IT department, but I found myself in a different field, in diaspora and consular affairs, that was being led by Ambassador Muburi. And I went back, to the coordinator, and I was like, this is a mistake. I need to be in the IT department. But they had already allocated those slots, so it was quite full. And so I had to remain where I was for quite some time before they found a slot for me. So I did stay there for a while, wondering, I did not do international relations. This is a field that I was not even aware about. And but I remember my dad telling me to just, the opportunity is there. Why don't I just learn until, a slot opens up in IT? And really, I thank God for my time there, because my manager there at that time was very thorough, he had a lot of project management knowledge. And being the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we worked with a lot of development organizations from, the UN. And that was the time that Ambassador Amina Mohammed was heading the ministry, and she did manage to bring in a lot of conferences to take place in Kenya. So I did get to participate in that and just increase my network in that field. And just to mention that during this time, I did go to the IT department to just see what I was missing out. And going there, I saw, just a bunch of young guys. It seemed so disorganized, like they were in another life. And I was like, okay, maybe there's a reason that God took me to, the other department. And so that is the way my journey began in the development space. And from Foreign Affairs, I went on to work for KCB Foundation. So KCB was launching a new program called Tujiajiri. I don't know how many have heard of it. If you have, let me see an emoji raising your hand up. Okay, all right. You can see Maria. Okay, Hillary. Okay, great. So I went to KCB Foundation, and it was great. Worked with a fantastic director, and what she told us was, you cannot be telling other people to jiajiri, and you guys don't have a business of your own. So you need to go and start your own business. And so myself and a couple of my friends did start business. But during this time, and just shortly before I joined KCB, and something that I also wanted to talk to you guys about is the road to employment that I'm sure a number of you, if not all of you, have hopes for, may not be direct. All right. Sometimes God may put opportunities along your path that you need to be open to accept. All right. So if you're young and you're not tied by family, and this is actually the best time for you to travel. You can take a gap year, just trying to explore your areas of interest, discovering your talents, and I'm going to be speaking more about that later. All right. And so where was I? So my period at KCB Foundation opened so many new doors as well. We went on to start our own company, and we got grants, from US organizations that we had various projects that we submitted. Went on to get 10,000 USD and another 25,000 grants to implement our projects, And then we got a tender with Capital Markets Authority where we were doing training, of course, and then COVID happened, and that affected the model of training because we're doing in-person trainings. All right. And so I had to rethink, because at the end of the day, you have bills to pay. So this is also speaking for the guys here who are looking to, get into entrepreneurship. It's okay sometimes if you hit a wall and you need to, regroup, re-strategize. It's okay, you might not get it right the first time, but you're also going to learn lessons along the way that you can take on to your new venture. And the thing I've realized about business is that you can start it and you have this idea, just whatever idea you have, whatever vision you have for your business, just write it down, and I will encourage you all to get a mentor or somebody that you can be able to run it through. And you'll find that where you started and probably where you'll end when you'll get that business idea, it's a journey if you look back at it, but you have to start from somewhere where you have your business book and you're noting down, this idea. And as young people, it's very important for you to have sort of a boardroom, all right, where you have different members of the board sitting in who can help you in various areas of your life. So whether it's personal, whether it's related to business, if you have children, even in church and all that. So these are people that you invite to your personal boardroom. So you're sort of looking at yourself as a company, an organization, all right? And you you have a board that you get advice from and get feedback from, all right? Yeah, so this journey, of course, did not come easy. And there are some things that I learned along the way that I wanted to share with you all today. And Monica, I hope that I will be able to, just share a presentation. I just wanted to share a few slides so that we can maybe have a discussion. I'm sure you, so that we can make it interactive. Yeah, because I also want to hear from you guys. Another thing that I wanted to mention before we get into the slides is just remaining true and authentic to yourself. We all have different journeys, all right? We're all going through different things, and you might be in your circle of friends, but you have so much going on in your life that you may not always be able to share, all right? And that is why I say that you can have all these individuals in your boardroom that you can speak to based on what you're going through, all right? And the thing about remaining authentic to yourself, so I am somebody who has gone to very many high schools because I started off at McKinney, and then my dad took me to a British system school, which was completely different. So I went to Hillcrest at a very early age, and that also affected how I speak. All right. So how I'm speaking now is not how I used to speak. And there we were not even learning Swahili. So that Swahili was like an option, and I was doing French and Spanish. And, life happened along the way, and I did not finish my studies at Hillcrest. All right. So that's normal. Sometimes you find yourself in these situations, you're a child, it's beyond your control, but you learn to adapt. My journey has taught me to adapt and also be resilient. And so I went to, going back to 844, I went to a school that is there long gone. I don't know if you guys know it, my side girls. And I remember going in and the way I was speaking with this accent and all that. And people started calling me, I don't know if you guys still use that. They were calling me Barbie. That was during my okay, I can see somebody laughing there. Yes, that is what they were calling me. And apparently I came to learn there are Barbies and there are Wanatis, you know? And they made it seem as if this being a Barbie is such a bad thing, you know? And, you know, being young and you want to try and fit in and all that, I tried to change myself, you know, and fit into this natty narrative, okay? And even listening to this reggae music, which I never used to listen to before, but it was not the real me. I was just trying to fit in, all right? And eventually I really struggled with it until I managed to like wash it down completely, and the wedding and all that. And I finished high school, uh, going into university and entering the workforce. And you realize that for, you know, getting into foreign affairs and all that and interacting with colleagues who have also studied abroad and all that, and you realize, oh my goodness, in this space, that could have actually been an asset, you know, because in the workforce, they're not really, there's no that Barbie or Nat really, you know. It is how you present what you know, all right? Because at the end of the day in the workforce, and this is something that Barack Obama said, right? At the end of the day, people just want somebody who gets the job done, okay? Have you ever thought about it? When your manager hires you, he does not want to think about what you're doing. He does not want to worry over the job that he hired you to do. He hired you to do that job so that he can focus on his, all right? And this is something very important to know, even, you know, as you are starting your own organization, such as Geek-ssters, and you're leading your own teams, and even as you're going on for internship and going to work for somebody, all right? The minute you're able to do the job that you're required to do, then there's that level of trust, all right? There's that level of dependency, all right? That I can always trust this person to do this and deliver, all right? So that's just something that you can note down as well. So being true and authentic to yourself is very important, because high school, university, it is only for a short time, all right? So this thing of falling into peer pressure, you know, and all these other vices, you need to think of your life beyond university. And it's only a few people that you will actually move on with, the ones who are really close to you, you know, because you're not going to all move together as a university, all right? Okay, so you can see Monica said that I can share my screen. As I'm pulling up my presentation, I don't know if somebody has any questions based on what I've said in my introduction.
Hi, Lana.
Hi, Monica.
Yeah, it's possible to share your screen, and there's also a compliment on the comment section. Joyce Atino says she's thanking you for the inspiring introduction.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I'm glad it was inspiring.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions? Or maybe you want to know more if I said something that you know, resonated with you, but you have a question. Okay, anyway, you can see my screen, right? So I wanted to, somebody saying, it's good to see you again, James McCory. Okay. All right. Yeah, we met the student in Oracle. Okay, all right. Hi, James. Hi. All right. So there are also gentlemen in the call. I just assumed it's all ladies. Welcome on board, gentlemen. Thank you for joining. So, is anybody familiar with the circle of concern and the circle of influence? Has anybody heard of this before? Monica, is there any reaction?
No reaction.
No reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. So the circle of concern, you can think about it as things that you do not really have control over. All right. Can you think of anything that is of a bother to you, maybe a nuisance, but you do not have control over it? Can I see maybe some examples in the chat? Weather, yes. Monica, yes. Death, I can see Faith as it. Yeah, I think you mean death, Faith. Yeah, as scary as it sounds. Yes. Anybody else? Okay, all right. And circle of influence. Okay, life. Thank you, Marion. And circle of influence. All right. So these are things that you have control over. All right. They directly impact your life and you have some control over them. Okay. Can you give me examples? We'll take our discussion from there. Okay, so we have some comments in the chat. What you wear, Paul Njega, you're saying what you wear. So I'm guessing that's in your circle of influence, right? Faith is talking about emotions. All right. So that makes, but you know this emotion. So what if you are expectant and you are having some crazy hormones that you have no control over? But I guess maybe there could be some medication for that. So the emotions could maybe lie in both circles. There's desires. Ramsey Noah. Wow, is that your real name? Were you named after that actor, that Nigerian actor? I don't know if you guys know him. He was very famous when I was a student. He's a Nigerian actor. I have this really bad fear of failure, which is making me stuck and not letting me take action. All right. So I hear you, Nasir. All right. And maybe after this conversation, we can find out, what is making you stuck. All right. We can explore that. All right. So what happens when you focus so much on the circle of concern? All right. You are giving so much of your energy on things that you cannot change. For example, Monica gave us the example of weather. All right. If it's going to rain tomorrow and you are planning on wearing your best outfit and it required sunny weather, really, instead of focusing so much of your energy on that, you can move on to something else because there's really nothing much that you can do. All right. So this is something that I happened to learn right after my after my internship. All right. And it really helped me because I am somebody who thinks a lot. Like, I don't know if we have those people here, you can get lost in your head. And especially when you're trying to solve everything around you, it comes also, I guess, for me being the first one. So you can draw this circle and list those things that you want to fix and to change, but at that particular moment, you have no control over. All right? You can put it in your circle of concern. All right? And then put those things that you want to achieve, but they're within your circle of influence. You can you have some authority to make those changes. So it's within your circle of influence. All right. So Ryan Gates has a fear of being average in life. All right. And Ryan, this is something you can think about. Do you feel like you can do something about this? And then you can start from there. And what steps can you take to achieving that? So what is already in your environment? Okay. So let me give an example. Okay. So now I am at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I am taking my internship. I want to get, to start earning some money, because at the ministry, yes, I was earning on contract basis. So we will get, especially when a conference comes and you get these opportunities to work with the UN, UN volunteers, and just, I think I also worked with UN Environment. So you get these jobs on contract basis, and they can be 3 months, some 6 months, and all that, because I was there for about 2 years. All right. And just getting a source of income from these contract jobs. All right. And I started mapping out my life. So what do I want to do after? Because the alternative is getting a position in this ministry is actually not easy. All right. It is actually it's a ministry that is very difficult to get a position. Unless, honestly, I'm just going to say this, unless you know somebody. Of course, the hand of God can work its way, but that's just the way it is there. And hopefully things will change. All right. And so I started asking myself, what do I want to do after? And do I really want to stay here, that I really want to fight for it? What else is out there in the world? Now that I've learned about these development states, now that I've learned about organizations like the UN, and knowing that even private organizations have their own CSR activities, ways that they give back to the community. All right. And how do I get there? Okay. What do I have control over? Okay. I really wanted to do my master's, right? But I did not have the funds at that time. Being the first one, my parents are still educating my brothers and sisters. So I put that in for now, until I find a way to further my studies. I'm going to just briefly put it in my circle of concern, but I'm going to continue researching, because I don't have. So what I put there in the circle of concern is the lack of fees. All right. But what opportunities are there? Because it is possible to further your studies. Okay. And I started doing so much research, and in that position of networking, because I used to attend a lot of youth events. All right. So even such sessions such as what Geek-ssters is organizing, and the fact that you guys are here, this is already a good first step. All right. Because by coming here, you might hear something that will impact your life. Or even the next time we meet, it can be like, hey, just the way James has commented here that, I believe he did an internship at Oracle, or the next time you meet with somebody, it can be easy to make that introduction. Okay. And so I started looking for different programs. And at that time, Barack Obama had just introduced this initiative, the Young African Leaders Initiative. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Has anybody heard of it? Thank you, Maria. And I saw this. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. And I was like, okay, this is a good opportunity for me to explore something else, something new. Why don't I give it a try? Okay. And the first time I did, I got into this local, there's an initiative that they have here in Kenya at KU. How many guys are in KU? Do we have anybody from KU joining? So it's hosted at KU, and they have the lessons at Chandaria, right? And I was there for about, Jack, you think you've heard of Yali, yeah. I was there for about 3 weeks, all right? And I said I want to move on to the next one. So they have a flagship program called the Mandela Washington Fellowship that provides this opportunity, and you go to the US for some time, and you're based at a US university. So I was like, this is what I can do now, and that is what I'm talking about. You guys, there are so many fellowships available out there, all right, that you can be able to apply for and get a fully funded ticket to go to another country and interact with other people. And, hi, Anissa, do you want to say something? Okay. And interact with other people, gain other experiences, and then even when you come back, you can be able to indicate in your CV that you've had that cross-cultural engagement, because you get to work in teams with people from all over the world, all right? And so that is what I'm talking about. You can break down, what is stopping you from moving on to the next level, all right? And not that particular thing that you don't have, control over. Like, for example, it's the fee to further your studies, and put that in circle of concern, but you still have this goal and what is within your circle of influence, okay, that can help you achieve that dream, okay? So there's still this, scholarships, and who says that you cannot get them, all right, if other people have gotten them as well, okay? So I don't know if what I am saying is making sense to you guys in terms of circle of concern and circle of influence. Okay. So have you guys heard of the Clifton strength test? Has anybody heard of that? Emoji? Okay, all right. Has anybody ever told you to, no? Okay, all right. Has anybody ever told you to work on your strengths, or do you hear more of work on your weaknesses? What do you guys hear? Is it Lemayan? So it's, you hear more of work on your weakness or work on your strength? Maria, weakness. Lemayan, weakness. If you want somebody else to work on your strength, Hillary, work on your weakness. So a lot of reference is saying both weakness. So there's a lot of weakness, all right? And the first time I interacted with this test, I found it strange. Like, why would you tell me, of course, work on your weakness, Jack? All right. So yes, that's what I thought at first. Like, why would you tell me to work on my strengths? Like, I'm already strong in those areas. I'm already conversant with those areas. Why should I continue to work on that? And what about my weaknesses? All right. Maximize strengths, minimize weakness. So Ryan, I think you have an idea. All right. And so this test is a Gallup strength test, and it's also known as the Clifton strength test. All right. It's an assessment test for personality and strength-based, designed to help individuals discover their natural talents and how to use them effectively in their personal and professional lives. All right. So it was developed by Don Clifton and the Gallup organization. and it can identify an individual's top strengths from 34 possible talent themes. All right. But unfortunately, it's an exam that let me call it it's an assessment, really. Yeah. And you get to select these questions, and you're given a time duration, because they want to find out what your strengths are. And as a leader, it's very important to know what your strengths are. If you're leading a team, it's important to know what your team strengths are. All right. So that if there's any project coming up, you can quickly put together those among your team that are strong in those areas. And the thing is, everybody has a strength in it cuts across. All right. So now I want to move over to the next slide. Monica, I think next time we will use Zoom.
Yeah, next time we'll use.
Okay. So we are what we repeatedly do. All right. I think there's some things that when you're born, you just find that you're good at. All right. Can you guys just list maybe some examples? Things that you don't have to struggle with, like even if it's football. How many are good at football or basketball or volleyball? Let me start with sports. Anthony, football, singing. Hillary, you can sing. Okay. Dancing, Gary, table tennis. All right. So this is like drawing, you did it the first time and it just came easy to you. Basketball. Okay. All right. I can do math all day. All right, James, that's amazing. And you see someone like James, if I can just give an example, in that mathematics class, probably he would pick things up very quickly, because that's just the way his brain is wired. That's just a talent that he has. And somebody's asking, am I muted? Can you guys hear me?
I can
not
hear
muted.
you. I can hear
You can hear me, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, good. So there's some things that you just like naturally. It's okay. Thank you, Hilary and Gilbert. It comes naturally to you, and these things that you repeatedly do is what makes up who you are. So, for example, if you love reading, or if I give that example of math, most likely you'll find yourself going into the STEM field. If you love basketball, you'll find yourself playing those games in school and representing your institution. I know, being Africans and all that, it's not very easy to have parents who support you in those areas. So sometimes you feel like you've let a certain dream die. But that's the thing. Even if you follow a certain path, you can always go back and follow your talent. Sort of like play those games maybe after work and over the weekends. Join a team. I've seen a number of guys in the professional field still following their dreams even after. All right. So let me go back to my slides. Okay, so talent versus strength. Have you guys ever thought that maybe they could be different? We have given examples of talent. Yeah. What do you guys think is the difference? I know I have put there a definition, but do you think there's much difference even from what is written there between talent and strength? So we've given examples of talent, from singing to math to football to dancing and all that. And strength is just the ability to provide consistent, near perfect performance in a given activity. All right. So you have to work towards your strength. Okay. So if your talent is dancing, yeah, so music can just come on, and naturally the way you move, it gets people's attention, because just the way your body is, and how to move towards that, to flow with the music, you know. But if you want to turn it into a strength, all right, don't you think it's something that you have to do consistently and develop? Thank you, Yvonne. That is a very good distinction, and you're actually right. So you have to work towards building your strength, all right? Especially if you're looking to stand out and also get an income from that strength, all right? Today we had, you guys know it's International Women's Month, all right? And our theme this month is accelerating action. So happy International Women's Month to you all. The Oracle Women Leaders, our chair, we have two co-chairs, Dolly and Janet, for those who are at Oracle, because I've seen there are a number of guys here. So they invited ex-KCB Group CEO to come and speak to us on coaching. And he's been in the bank industry for quite a while. He's worked for a number of corporates and all that. And right now he's a coach. But before he got his credentials, he had an opportunity. There was an opportunity presented in Tanzania by a corporate, and they wanted him to come and train, their staff. All right. They were looking to, the CEO was about to retire, and they wanted to train some about 10 guys they had picked. And from that coaching, it's sort of not, let me use that coaching, to coach them. And then from that, at the end of it, they would pick a CEO from there. And so he prepared everything, but they asked him, okay, now share with us your credentials for coaching, all right? So this is something that he's done for a while. He's good at it, but at that time, he never thought that anybody would ask you for coaching credentials, okay? And that's when he decided to, actually get his papers, his certifications, all right? And once he did that, after a while, he went back to these guys like, hey, is that opportunity still there? I now have my papers. And they did have an opportunity for him, all right? So I'm just saying that if you're looking to have an income from your strength, from your talent, okay, you can be consistent in perfecting it, all right? So whether you're an artist, or whether you're doing what, and even our guy who is in math and all that, it's about consistency and working towards developing and perfecting that talent into a strength, and now certifying it in a way that you can be able to get some revenue from it. All right. So has it changed? And we have discussed this. You may be wondering, for those who may be wondering where your talents lie. So there's a yearning for something that you would have, like, what kinds of activities are you naturally drawn to? So some of you guys were very good in drama and acting and all that, and your parent is pushing you to this other side, like the way my dad was pushing me towards medicine, and but you're drawn to something else, okay? But you're laughing. Yeah, I do not like the sight of blood. So to what kinds of activities are you naturally drawn? So you need to think about that, and from there on, once you've listed them, you can pick the ones that you would want to perfect. So it could be even things that can be used in an organization. It could be even public speaking. It could be even something like organization skills. All right. The thing that you learn when you join an organization, there are some talents that will be appreciated that go beyond your normal job description. All right. So ways that you can give back to the company. Oh my gosh, I need to find my charger. Yes. So the kind of activities you're drawn to, have that listed down and see how you can be able to perfect that. And it can even be, topics that you are naturally drawn to. So like if it's sciences that I'm sure most of the guys joining right now are drawn to STEM, all right? And the kinds of activities that you seem to pick up quickly, we've talked about that rapid learning, flow. What activities did you automatically know the steps to be taken? There's some people who are just really good, for example, in business, all right? So even if when it comes to putting up a proposal and all that, it just sort of seems to flow well. And what sorts of activities do you naturally do well? So, that also ties to yearning, and what kinds of activities give you energy and a sense of passion, right? Um, so from that diagram, I hope it's showing the building your strengths. You can see we're talking about skill, knowledge, talent, and all this building up to your strength. All right. So I just wanted to touch very quickly on this. I hope my slides have changed on a weakness. All right. A weakness is something that gets in your way or in the way of others. All right. You could want to um, you could want to lead a team, you could want to go into public speaking, but the fear of crowds just scares you. There's also somebody who shared about feeling stuck. I'm trying to look for that comment. I'm sure it was somewhere here. You want to move forward, but there's something, maybe it's a weakness within you that is holding you back. All right. And so this is something that you can work on as well, but the focus will be, because what people will hire you for is your strength. All right. So it's very important to identify your strengths and work on those. All right. I don't know if that makes sense. Is it a non-talent or a weakness? What would you call it? Do you think there's a difference between the two, non-talent and weakness? Okay. Okay, so I have a definition here. Let me just read it. A weakness refers to a skill or area where someone performs poorly. All right, and that is the true definition of weakness. But what is it? It can be improved. You've not worked on it. Thank you, Yvonne. It can be improved. And no talent is considered a complete lack of natural ability in this particular area. All right. Often seen as something that cannot be significantly improved through practice alone. Okay. So you can work on a weakness, but then there is no talent. Those things that you can just accept that I'm not really good at it. Talent is simply huna nyota, really. Okay. Oh, yeah, Yvonne, that's the description. But do you think you can work on that nyota? I think you can work on weakness, but then there's some things that you just don't have a talent. Let me tell you, me, I gave up on making chapati. Hey, see, I have tried to do that thing. No matter how many tutorials I watch, even my mom gave up. My mom gave up teaching me because I'm like, I can't do this. I can't, So, and my children love chapati. So when it's time to eat chapati, that once a week, and yeah, chapo, imagine colleagues, imenishinda kabisa. They always come out cracked, hard. I have never produced good ones. And there's a time even I put a tutorial and I watched it and I'm like, I'm going to do this. I even don't know it alone, so I'm not alone. Thank you, Lemayan. So I gave up on it. I'm like, you know what? I have zero talent in this, but I can cook other things really well. Ni hit moja imenishinda. Okay. So I don't feel bad about that. It is putting so much energy because I've tried that for years. Why should I continue to put so much energy there? And then kwa shosh, hata hawa wamenifundisha wamegive up. Okay. Yes, I gave up, and I'm like, I can create employment for somebody to help me make these chapels, or invite my sister over because she's really, really good at making chapels. So I'm like, let me work on my other strengths. Let me perfect, how I make these other foods, chicken, fish, and all that. Ugali, I can cook even for 50 people. Na itatoka kama imeiva. Unaona? So at least hapo niko sawa. Okay. And then so dealing with weakness, I think we're about done. I just have one more slide, guys. We can just quickly go through this very quickly. So open communication and transparency. So you just have to have that conversation with yourself and just accepting that this is a weakness and being transparent about it. All right, to whoever you're speaking with. All right, and get the right training. Uh, Leverage other talents as we have spoken about, use support systems. So, like for example, if this community that has been created by Geek-ssters, that's a very good beginning, and form complementary partnerships. So if you're forming, this collaborations with other people who have strength in that area, and you're coming over with your strength, that can work well as as well. So, and then on the final note that I wanted to share with you guys, um, affirm and integrate. So you need to learn to appreciate and value your own unique set of talents and then turn them into strengths. Okay. Great leaders know what they do best and capitalize on those qualities. So you guys need to find out, what do you do best and capitalize on those. This will work for you when you're applying for scholarships, when you're applying for those fellowships that I'm talking about, when you're applying for jobs, when you meet any high ranking individual that you believe in one way or another, they might change your life. You need to know what you do best and capitalize on it. All right. Um, so whether it's even organizing events and putting things together, have you done any? Are you working towards perfecting your skill? If you're good in sciences and all that, are you putting in the work in those areas beyond what is being offered in your institution? So it's very important for you guys at this point, as much as you're identifying your skill, perfecting it, and make sure that you get a certification on top of it, a credential. Just as I shared with you what happened with Dr. Martin, in that engagement where he was seeking that coaching opportunity. All right. And that brings me to the end of my presentations. I hope that I shared something valuable. I hope you guys learned something. Yeah, thank you so much, Monica, and everybody for inviting me. Everybody, thank you for spending your Thursday evening with me. The kids are on the other side, wondering why mommy's locked up here. but but I've had a good time. So thank you so much, everybody. Monica, I think I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for gracing our evening today and for accepting our invite. I'm going to hand it over to Ivy to give us the vote of thanks. But if you have any question, please raise your hand or you can type it in the chat section. I'm sure Lona will still see it and she can answer you. So over to Ivy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Lona, for that amazing, amazing presentation. I'd also like to say that I also don't know how to cook chapati, and it's okay. It's okay. We don't judge. So yeah, thank you so much. We've learned a lot on maximizing our strength and working on everything. And maybe there are people with questions, or there are no questions from the chat. Is there anyone with a question before we can let Lorna go?
Okay, so I hope they understood. But I think they were also commenting in the comment section. Oh, I can see Ryan has his hand raised.
It's like maybe he's done it by mistake. Joyce,
Okay, no
I'd seen
problem.
you admitted. Okay, he has put in the chat.
Okay.
Hello, Lorna. How do non-students like me join Oracle Academy by Ryan Giggs?
All right. So unfortunately, guys, the academy is just for students and for educators. It's an education program started by Oracle, and it's Oracle's way of giving back, and they have invested heavily in the education program. So there are two programs: there's Oracle Academy and Oracle University. The reason why it is so restrictive to get access to Oracle Academy is that once if you're not a student and you access these resources, it might be for commercial purposes, when it's supposed to be for teaching, learning, and maybe just research within your institution. So how it works is we have collaborations, we have partnerships with all these educational institutions. All right, and once your institution is on board, then your faculty members can have their faculty accounts and now create student hub accounts for their students. All right, so it's only accessible to educators and students. But Oracle University, let me see if I have this link. You can be able to create an account with Mylan if you're looking to, access maybe additional courses and certifications. Let me just see if I can get the link. There is one that has free courses. So I'm going to share the link to Learning Explorer and to Mylan, and you guys can be able to create an Oracle account and access those courses there. Okay. Courses and certifications. So let me just drop this in the chat. Okay.
I think you could also share with Monica later on, and then all the links
Okay.
available. Yeah, and then
All
we
the
can share.
links, and then yeah, sure, that also works. I can do that.
Okay. Yeah.
This sort of appreciation for the thank you so much for that appreciation. Nora is asking, so if I want to get a scholarship abroad, how can I apply, and how are the interviews like for asking for grants? You're very curious. So Nora, I am willing to have a sit down with you. We can organize through Monica and Geek-ssters. I will also be sharing these links on where the scholarships are available, and you can be able to apply. They're normally very detailed on what they are looking for and what they're asking for. And how are the interviews like for asking for grants? Are very curious. The trick with grants is that application. The initial application that you do to get shortlisted is very important. And and guys, just to mention that it is important at this point to get into activities where you are volunteering, become part of a community. Okay. So, for example, if you're part of Geek-ssters, it goes a long way in including that in your application. All right. These scholarships, these grants, they're always looking for ways that you are giving back to your community, how you are also building up the younger generation. I know you guys are still in that, but even if you're a fourth year, how are you looking to build up the first years? Any way that you can be able to demonstrate that you're paying forward what you have learned, all right, or going back to build your communities. You find a way to be able to demonstrate that in the community you work for, such that they can be able to give you a reference, then that is like a free ticket in terms of getting these scholarships and in terms of getting these grants. Okay. So it is very important that aside from your schoolwork, get engaged in an activity. And that is why I say kudos to the Geek-ssters team for even starting such an initiative when they are still in school. This is like a direct ticket into getting these fellowships, into getting these scholarships. So find something. If your strength, we've talked about strength, if your strength is in farming, all right, and you're going back home and you have a farm, like our grant project was on fish cage farming, all right, don't just look at it like it's just that one aspect of fish cage farming. Can you link it to the UN SDGs? All right. I'm sure you guys know what those are. The Sustainable Development Goals. Link it to that. What are you trying what are you working towards? What are you trying to solve? What is your initiative working towards? Say if it's farming, if you're a potato farmer, if you are doing something in education and you're volunteering with educational institution, you are working towards quality education. All right. So you need to find something that your strength is in. If it's dancing, all right, and you have already perfected this art of dancing, have you started a dance studio? For example, maybe in Madare or something. Are you offering online tuition? All right, which could be free. Maybe you're just having, and is this there's so many tools out there that you can be able to use to give back. Just make sure that there's something that you can be able to link to your report, all right, that they can find you online. The main thing, I once volunteered with a certain NGO, but after some time the CEO just sent me a message that I'm no longer part of the team. No, I was so down. Honestly, that was just wrong. That was just honestly wrong. Have they should not have done that. All right. And even if you're going to volunteer for an NGO, I think I believe it's very important to have it in terms of a contract. Just because somebody is not paying you does not mean that they should take advantage of you. Okay. So only work for organizations that give you a contract, because even what we were doing with UN volunteers, we had a contract. All right. And although those jobs that we were doing, they paid us for that duration, but most of these international organizations, or just even other NGOs that are Kenyan based, whether you're a volunteer or not, there's a contract they normally give you, because that contract in itself is of value that you can be able to demonstrate when you're applying for these interviews. So always ask for that contract, all right? And yeah, it will also help you in terms of how they let you go, how they communicate, because it's legally binding. All right. So Lemayan, sorry for that. That was very unfair. So somebody says, what does it take to intern work at Oracle? So we do have an internship program. All right. And we have collaborated with the ICT authority. We select our interns from there. You guys, I'm sure you know about the PDTP program, the Presidential Digital Training Program. I think I saw some names looked familiar here. Hillary. I'm not sure if Lemayan, that name sounds familiar, but maybe it could be too. Uh, like I'm a student in the university, but people in my university concerned with registration to Oracle Academy just keep giving me stories. Okay, Ryan, we need to connect after this to sort this out. Yeah, so that we can have you enrolled as soon as possible. Okay. So what was I saying? Yeah, so we select our interns from the PDTP program. You guys know it's a government initiative, and they take about 400 interns every year. And so Oracle we get to interview these 40 to 50 interns that are sent over to us by ICTA, and we select 15 to 20. So it's very competitive, but that's how we do our internship program. The other one is Generation Oracle. So this is an entry level program that you can be able to get these entry level positions into Oracle. And if your institution is a member of Oracle Academy, honestly, when these positions are open, we normally share with our members through the member hub. All right. So Ryan, I'll work with your institution from to get you on board. If you're also a student, maybe Monica, you can share my LinkedIn details. Actually, it's just Lorna Juma. If you can be able to see my name on the screen, we can I can work with you to get your institution enrolled. All right, so that you guys can have access to these resources. So Generation Oracle, that is, somebody's asking me what makes us candidates stand out for one to get in. It really depends on the role, but they are looking for, aside from your undergraduate degree, it's very important to have your undergraduate degree, honestly. They're looking for people who are thinking outside the box. team players. I know you guys hear this a lot, but organizations really value it. You need to demonstrate that you can be able to work in teams. You need to be able to, you need to be open to learning. All right. So you never approach an interview like you know it all and all that. So we always learning new things, myself included. So these are the things that will make you stand out, how you approach it. So you need to learn the organization, learn the culture, and these are the things that Oracle values. Of course, just demonstrating and giving examples of projects that you have worked on and you were able to complete those to fruition. Like I mentioned before, what Barack Obama said, people just want somebody who can get the job done. So you just need to demonstrate to people that that is what you're good at and that is what you have been doing. Because you can literally just meet a manager who tells you this is what I want and can you make it happen. And that's the way our manager was at KCB. She will tell us this is what I'm looking to achieve. Can you make it happen? So it is up to you to go figure it out. Of course, within company policy, right? I have already graduated. Do I stand a chance at Oracle? Yeah, yes, yes. You've graduated, Joy. So when this generation Oracle opens, maybe Monica, I can share. I know that it's going to open up in September for positions here in the Kenya Hub, and I can share with Monica, Geek-ssters team, and this is your community, Monica, right? So you have the
Yes,
contact
yes.
details and everything, yeah. So you can share with them. So I'll make that point. But you can also follow them on social media. They are called Generation Oracle, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. On LinkedIn, we just have one Oracle for like the main organization. Yeah. So you do stand a chance, Joyce, for the PDTP program when it opens. That's opening up in September. Well, so a lot of good things in September, and the Generation Oracle as well. So there are two opportunities there for you to join Oracle. Yeah. Okay. I think those were the only questions, and I hope I have answered them.
No, there's one more that has just popped up. Just one.
Okay.
Yeah, from Isaac. I've already graduated. How do I start? How do I land scholarships and volunteering opportunities?
Okay. So Isaac, for the scholarship, I'm going to share that. For volunteering opportunities, this can depend on it's all about networking, all right, and also finding out this organization. So you can even check on Google, but I can put together a list. I guess it can be in one email that I'm going to share with the Monica and team, and to send out to you guys. I also need to confirm if the ones that I have in mind are still offering those volunteer opportunities. All right. So let me check on that. For the scholarships, I have a lot of links. So I'm going to put that in and share that with you guys. The volunteering organizations, let me confirm the ones I have in mind and if they're still offering those opportunities. All right. Thank you, Isaac, for your question.
Okay, thank you so much, Lorna. Also, I'd like to put it out there that if you registered for this webinar via Luma, we have your email addresses, so you will get the feedback email with everything that Lorna has said she's gonna send. But if you join this meeting, maybe you saw the link on WhatsApp or something and you decided to come, please share your email on the chat section and I'll have one of the team members collect all the emails and add you to the list. So kindly do that. As we get into the next session, Lorna, thank you so much for gracing us with your time. We don't take it for granted, and I am sure 100% of every attendee has left here with some valuable piece of information. So thank you so much. Okay, guys, before you guys start leaving, we always have a fun session at the end where we play a game, and the top 3 get presents. No, not presents, money. Let me be specific. So, to keep you here, the first person will get 500 shillings, number 2 will get 300 shillings, and number 3 will get 200 shillings. So, stick around for a very fun game, short and sweet. And let's get competitive now for some time. Yeah. let me have Dean share the screen for you guys to log into the game. Thank you. So just go to quiz.com. Okay, let's see who the
Third
top
place,
3 are.
Captain Slow.
Captain
Second
Slow,
place,
congratulations.
Ruto must go.
Ruto
And the
must
winner
go.
is
Quick.
Marilyn.
And Marilyn, congratulations. So what I want you to do is take a screenshot, Marilyn, Captain Slow, and Ruto must go, and then send us your name and phone number together with the screenshot that you're actually the winner on to our email address. Let me just put it right now on the chat section so that you can be
Uncle
as
Man
soon
joined.
as possible. Congratulations to all of you who participated in the game. I know the competition was tight, but come back for our next webinar. You might stand a chance to be among the top 3. To the winners, congratulations to you.
And Monica, so is it Geek-ssters or Geek-ssters? Was I saying it right?
Yeah, you were saying it right. It's just Geek-ssters that's shortened to Geek-sters.
To Geek-ssters, all right.
Yeah.
All right. And your membership includes is it just female or both genders?
For membership it's just female,
Yeah.
but we leave space for the gentlemen in forums like this.
Oh, okay.
Inclusivity is all
Yes.
inclusive. So
I suppose that.
yeah, so we don't want to kick them out. So
Yeah.
this is one way we include the men.
Yeah.
Another way is through partnerships. We partner with the Audacious. The Audacious Africa is a tech community also. We've been partnering with them since the beginning. So they are also our, inclusivity kind of thing where men feel welcome as well. When
Okay.
we mention,
Audacious Africa.
when we mention the Audacious Africa, we feel like a community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. And it's also a challenge to the guys. What is stopping you from also starting, your community and inviting the ladies on board as well? We normally complain that International Women's Day is celebrated like a whole month, and then the Men's Day is just, passed over. But you can also start your forum and invite us women so that we also hear your concerns and find solutions to them. So, there's somebody's asking, how does one join Geek-ssters, Monica?
Sure. I think this will be shared in the email addresses, but we have a Discord channel as well as a WhatsApp community where you can join. So this will be shared on your emails, all the links to join the Audacious, to join Geek-ssters, all of them.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. I think you can allow me to sign up now.
Yeah, actually, if anyone is allowed to now sign out. And thank you so much for joining us and staying with us from 7:30 to 9. Oh, thank you.
But it was very engaging. So thank you all for having me. And Monica, let us talk about having this in the office.
Yes.
Sometime soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.